Hello team, how are we? This week's video, in case you haven't guessed by the title and the thumbnail, is supplements. We're going to be talking about supplements. I'm going to go through all my favourite supplements. A couple of disclaimers to start the video off with. Obviously, I want you to prioritize whole foods. I want you to go out and eat real food. I don't want everything to be a constituted packet of sweeteners and powders. I want you to actually be going out and eating real fruit and veg, real nutrients, real protein. Life isn't perfect, and of course we are gonna use supplements from time to time. In some cases, I just want some of these things because I'm either too lazy or I'm just too intrigued. And if it says that it's gonna solve all my problems, I want in and I want to try it. The majority of these things, I will say, I have discount codes for. Go in the description and hit yourself up with a discount. So of course I do get a little bit from you guys clicking on those links, from you guys buying things. I will say it's like pence. I'm not getting a lot of money from these things. It does mean that they give me things for free, which is very cool. And the benefit of getting these things for free is I actually genuinely use them. Like, these are all things that I use every single day. So to then get it for free is pretty damn cool. So if you wanted to support me, supplement my supplements, then please buy any of these things that I show on screen. Let's get into it. I'm not going to do it in any kind of order. I'm just going to pick up whatever's in front of me. I've brought all of my supplements upstairs that I use probably every single week. I wouldn't necessarily say that everything is every single day, but definitely every single week. And I'm going to start with this. This is Protein Works Savory Super Meals in Tasty Chicken Noodle. This is the only flavour you need. I did see that they've got a mac and cheese, which I might have to investigate, but I hate mushrooms, so I didn't get the mushroom mac and cheese. And I've tried the tomato, I don't know, I've tried a couple of other ones, and this one is the only one that's nice. I found the other ones a bit too sweet, they're not quite right. This is nice. Tasty chicken noodle, obviously not chicken, fake chicken. It is vegan friendly. If you have 2 scoops, you will bag yourself 22 grams of protein. And it's also one of those, it's giving fuel energy, right? It's giving you all of the nutrients that you could possibly need. It's giving you a little bit of everything. Vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K. We've got loads of other B vitamins in there as well. We've got calcium, we've got iron, we've got magnesium, we've got zinc. It's got everything. It's got a little bit of everything. So this really isn't a bad shout if you want to keep this in your drawer at work because you just need a kettle. Like this, all you need is a little bit of hot water and you've got a meal, which is pretty decent. I wouldn't eat it every day. I wouldn't say it keeps me super full. It's not a bad shout to have this. On that same kind of train of thought, if you want something really quick that you can have at work, that you can just pour some hot water into and bish bash bosh, you've got a meal. Enter another Protein Works thing. This is the protein porridge. This is so easy. I don't know about you, but I've got so sick of protein oats. This is protein oats, but for some reason they're a little bit different. It's a little bit nicer personally, I think. Now, calorie wise, this is super low calorie for what it is. 215 calories per serving and 15 grams of protein. You could easily bulk this out. I'm obviously not dieting down right now, but I still have this and I just put Biscoff on top, bananas on top. Even working from home, I reach for both of these things quite frequently just for times when I can't be bothered or I'm in such a work train of thought that I'm like, I know I need to eat, but I can't stop because this will all evaporate. These super handy to have around. I will say get the chocolate, don't bother with any other flavour. I've had the apple and cinnamon. It was okay, but I'd rather have something that was pretty plain and then jazz it up myself because committing to a massive bag of apple and cinnamon was just not the right choice. On the train of protein, the best protein, which why will Protein Works not come out with this? Like, explain this to me. I don't care for anything else. I just want clear protein. It's the only flavour that I like, and they've got quite a few flavours, and I just think there's so many opportunities that are missed because of this. So this is clear protein from My Vegan, which just tastes like juice. This is apple and elderflower. This is the only one that I enjoy. The reason being, you need a 32 gram scoop of this in order to get 20 grams of protein. If you went with the serving size in the tub, it's only going to give you 10 grams of protein. We're beyond that at this point, right? I know we're vegan, I know we're plant-based, but don't be giving me 10 grams of protein. That is not a protein shake, that is the bare minimum. So we have to have a 32 gram scoop of this. So don't even bother messing around with the smaller tubs. Get a big tub because you'll be through it so quickly. And I probably have this every day to kind of top up my protein. One thing in between my meals and I'm good to go. In terms of powdered protein, I can't lie to you, I've been not having it so much because I've had the protein porridge. They also do protein pancakes. So I've been using that and not having to use quote unquote regular protein powder. Instead of using the protein oats, using protein pancakes, make your goddamn own and get a really decent protein. So this is the Free Soul protein blend. Free Soul is fantastic because it's actually formulated for women. And if you know anything about scientific research, women are not involved in it because we have too many variables going on. So for a brand to actually have gone out of their way to research what women actually need when it comes to sports performance and nutrition is unreal. And it helps. This is actually really good too. Even when you pick up the bag, you can tell that this is a quality protein by the texture and feel of it. Like, it's so light, it's not grainy, it just even feels like it's going to be good. That's when you know that they've nailed it. This, alongside obviously having protein in, also has maca, it has ginseng, it has all your B vitamins that you could ever think about. It's got iron, it's got calcium, it's magnesium, flaxseed, all the good things that you could possibly need, and 20 grams of protein per 30 gram scoop, which is pretty standard for protein, I will say. Now, I've been using not even a full serving of this in some bits and bobs recently. I made some lemon cheesecake oats with probably like a tablespoon of this. I had a chia pot thing with literally 9 grams of this, and then overall the whole meal was like 30 grams. So we can still make whole food meals and just top it up with a little bit of protein, but especially protein that is so well formulated for women. On the topic of Free Soul and their incredibly formulated products, we have the mango greens. Now, you may notice this is very thin because I've got about 1 serving left in here and I'm savouring it because I have to wait for February to come around so I can get some more. This is their greens powder, which you will have seen all over the freaking internet because every man and his dog loves it. It is the only greens powder that you'll be able to drink. I saw people having this, and I've mentioned this before. In fact, I think in my previous video I was talking about this, how I saw people with literally like giant cups full of greens and them just sipping them. And I thought, there's no way. Now, the thing about greens is usually they don't have any fiber in them, so you're missing out on all that goodness. Any juices, anything like that, usually the fiber has left the building. Not with this has fiber in. On the same train of thought as it being formulated perfectly for women, it's got loads of great things in here, including ashwagandha. It's got some more maca in here. As I said, we've got loads of fiber in here. It's just got everything that you could ever possibly need, and your greens. Like, it's not just, oh, here's some broccoli, some spirulina, some wheatgrass for the sake of it. It's actually got things in that are going to be beneficial to you, as well as some greens. If you buy anything, buy this, but buy the mango one. Don't even mess around. Even if you don't like mango, I hate mango. This, delicious. EAAs, now this one is one that I would say is not necessary for you to have. Honestly, I have it because it's tasty and it helps me to take other supplements, which I'll go on to. This is one that I started having simply because I worked at the gym. It's a very bodybuilding heavy gym, and bodybuilders, their main diet is powders and different types of supplements that they think are going to make them that kind of 1% better for stage. So we had loads of samples of these laying around, and this flavour was just delicious. It is big juicy melons and it's just great. It's just bloody great. So EAAs are essential amino acids. Amino acids are the building blocks of proteins that we need in our body to get muscly, to have that cell repair, to have that muscle growth. The idea is that this is going to help us to grow muscle, even though it doesn't quite work that way. And like I say, it's not entirely necessary, but personally, I see this as a little bit of a safety net, a little bit of a safety blanket, because there's a lot of sources of protein that are plant-based that aren't complete protein, so they don't have every single amino acid. So I see this as a little bit of a top-up, and I imagine my body to be like a jigsaw puzzle before you put it together. And I'm just like sprinkling in little parts of the jigsaw puzzle, and maybe they don't all quite go together because I've not got all complete proteins, but this in my mind helps kind of connect them together. So it's not something that if I don't have it, I'm not like, oh my God, I'm gonna wither away, but I do enjoy having it and it tastes nice, which makes me keep taking it. What I pair with this is creatine. One of the cheapest supplements that you can find. It's also one of the most researched supplements you can find. We already kind of produce creatine within our body, right? This is something else that's just kind of topping that up. Now, there's a few things milling around on the internet about creatine. So people think that it's not going to be beneficial to them because it's going to make them bloat loads. It's going to make them hold on to loads of water. It's going to cause loads of water retention, and they're just going to feel really wobbly and bloated and gross. Well, let me tell you this. If you take creatine and you feel really wobbly and gross, it is not the creatine, because yes, creatine causes a little bit of water retention. It causes that water retention in your muscles. It does not cause water retention just randomly in your belly. So actually what will happen is you'll appear that you've got slightly bigger, beefier biceps. You won't just have a bigger belly for no reason. Stop believing everything you see online and do your research, because there's a lot of it, so do it. To get the kind of best out of this, we want to be taking this every single day, 3 to 5 grams. And it's boring, right? It's not a supplement that you take and you automatically feel like Superwoman, but over time you will notice the effects of it. So it doesn't motivate me necessarily to actually take it every day. So by pairing these together, I feel a bit more motivated to take it because this tastes delicious. This I always get unflavored just because I like to be able to put it into other things, because otherwise I would never take this, because this would have a different flavour, and then I'd be having this, and I'd be having this, and I'd be having so many different types of liquid that I would just never take them all. Unflavoured creatine, EAAs, together, a match made in heaven in my eyes. Speaking of all the different types of drinks that I have per day, it's a little tube of electrolytes. They are little tablets, like a Barocca, if you will, and you're just gonna pop that into water and it's gonna effervesce. I get strawberry and lime. I can't lie, I don't think I've even tried any other flavours, but stuff like this, once I find a flavour that I know I like, I just stick with it, because otherwise I've got loads of something I'm never going to use, you know? We all know we need to be hydrated. We all have the Stanley cups, we're all sipping away, but we can have too much of a good thing, right? This hasn't actually got any of the minerals that we need and the salts that we need to replenish our body. It just has the water, and yes, that's great, that's important, but it's also important that we think about replenishing our salts and our electrolytes. That is why this is useful, especially if you're going to be doing any kind of endurance sports. A lot of people are getting behind running at the moment, and I see people with their running energy gels, but do you have your electrolytes? Have you actually hydrated yourself? If you are sweating a lot, you are losing salts. You need to be taking electrolytes. So this isn't necessarily something that I will have every single day, but if I'm especially sweaty that day, in the summer I'll have these a lot. I'll just make sure that I'm properly hydrated if I'm doing a lot of exercise, I'm really sweaty. And last, but by no means least, we have these two. This is vegan omega, this is vitamin D. Supplements are there to supplement your diet. So there may be things that within your diet that you just don't get a lot of. So vegans naturally probably aren't getting that many omegas in their diets. I don't know about you, but I sprinkle a couple of chia seeds on top of my porridge and I pretend that that's my like daily allowance of omegas. It's not. Most days I'll have a little omega capsule just to supplement my diet, because that's what these are for. I also have D3, which hopefully it will be time to not have these anymore, but everybody in the UK should be supplementing these because we just don't see the sun enough in the winter. So it is smart to be thinking about supplementing that. But again, do your own freaking research. The only reason that I put any of these things into my body is because I've done my research and it's a gap in my diet. Or in the case of this may be not a gap in my diet, like I could just be not lazy and have some lunch. Sometimes you just need things that are going to be a little bit easier. But hopefully this helped to point you in the right directions of some supplements that may be useful to you and your diet. If I didn't talk about it, it's because it's not useful. It's because you don't need it. Did you see any pre-workout? No. Did you see any pump workout? No. Did you see any oxy shred? No, because you don't freaking need them. These, you still don't need them, but it's not going to harm you, you know? So, I don't know, do whatever you want. I'm not your mom.